All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back here again for season number 4 of the Backyard Bookies. College football is upon us. I am here with my co-host Scott. Scott, it is great to be back for another season.
Yeah, it's been a long summer of just baseball and baseball betting, which is absolutely toxic, impossible. So happy to be back and betting on some football. I'm here in Michigan right now. I bet on week 0 already, so I already lost a few, but won a couple. But football's back. Tis the season again. I got the NFL in a few weeks as well, but week 1's upon us. I'm pumped. Got some good matchups coming up.
All right. I love it. Let's just run through the format for those that are new, old viewers. We got a little bit new of a format here. We are strictly college football on the show this year. We're doing only college football. Basically, we're going to have 3 picks each week against the spread or the total, our 3 favorite picks for the week. We'll have 1 underdog pick at least plus 105, so you can make a little bit of change on the money line there. Each pick is worth 1 point. Whoever has the most points at the end of the month will avoid having to spin the wheel of punishment. Everybody loved it. So after each month, we're going to spin the wheel. It's going to be something awful, a shot of terrible food, flaming hot wings, ice baths. Who the hell knows? But it's a lot of fun. But let's just hop into it, Scott. Week 1, it's the hardest week to pick bets, hardest week to make bets. What's your first pick for us?
Yeah, for me, I think the books even have no idea what's going on. So some of these lines are definitely going to be kind of skewed. Obviously, in week 0, we saw, I think, 4 double-digit underdogs cover, as well as obviously Georgia Tech winning. They were a 10-point dog in that game. So week 1's an interesting week. So you might be getting some pretty good lines this week. I'm betting a lot of dogs in this first one. Penn State at West Virginia. It feels like to me, West Virginia, it's a fun place to play for the home team. They're going to be pumped up for week 1. It's, Morgantown's a fun place to have a few beverages. So they're going to be pumped up. They're 8.5-point dogs here. So getting at least a touchdown here. I think for me, I think they can cover at least a touchdown. Penn State, they're getting 73% of the bets so far, and money line, it looks like even more. So a lot of the public's on Penn State, a lot of public's on Penn State money line. I think has a lot to do with the brand and who they are. Normally a pretty good team, but I don't know, something about those Mountaineers at home, week 1. Noon game on Fox. I feel like they can at least cover the 8.5, if not win outright. But I'd much rather just take the 8.5. So we're going to go West Virginia plus 8.5 at home versus Pennsylvania State.
I love it. Love this game. I wish this game was at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock maybe, just to let the beverages flow for the Mountaineer fan base and make that thing a hellscape. Penn State, the far superior team, but I think they're going to struggle week 1. I'm not a big Drew Aller guy. People like him. He's pretty contentious, I think. So I really like that pick. I'm going Friday night. We're going to have first action. I'm first up on the board Friday night. We got a lot of games Thursday, a lot of games Friday. I don't know if you've ever heard of this man, but he's my kind of guy. Maybe he needs to be investigated. I don't know. There's a quarterback by the name of Aiden Childs over there at Michigan State. Shout out Sparty. Shout out Cameron, our financial gambling advisor. Aiden Childs made a bold statement this past week saying, if you bet the over. I love that confidence. That's the kind of aura we need on this show. And they got an FAU team coming into town that is just, they're not good. This is not a good FAU team. The total's 45.5. I'm not touching that total. I don't know what they're going to do. They might pull the starters, but the line's only 14. It's 2 touchdowns. I'm going to swallow these 2 touchdowns at home. I think it's going to be a raucous crowd. That gets everybody fired up. Yeah, I like Sparty here just to set the tone early, win this game by 3 touchdowns. I mean, FAU last year, terrible 4 straight losses to close out the season. I don't know anything about FAU, but they're just not good. They're just not quite the same since old Lane Kiffin left. So I think this is a housing Big Ten football Friday night. Everyone's going to be feeling themselves. So I'm taking with the confident quarterback. I'm going with Sparty minus 14 here.
Yeah, just off the spread there. Last 4 games, obviously that was last season, different team, but lose to Rice, lose to Tulane, lose to East Carolina, lose to UAB. Didn't cover in any of those games. They were all losses with one push. So yeah, at least last year, not a very good team. I love the confidence in with Aiden Childs. Talking the over. I had that mixed into one of my parlays this week on my actual gambling profile, not the BB profile, but I had to go with Aiden there. I mean, my guy who's backing up DJ and at Oregon State, finally getting a chance to be the guy at Michigan State and East Lansing. So I got the over. I think it says 45.5 right now. I'm not sure what I got it at earlier this week, but I like the pick. I feel like they're going to come out hot and look pretty good. So for my second pick, this was one of the ones I feel like we both have, because it's just too on brand not to pick. Iowa's playing Illinois State. I just don't. There's no real reason to. There's no really analysis here. I mean, new quarterback. I think Cade McNamara is their quarterback now this year, so maybe he can finally throw a little bit. Old quarterback in Michigan. Maybe he can throw better than whoever the fat guy they had last year. I don't think. I mean, if the defense is anywhere close to how good they were last year, with Cooper DeJean and some white, maybe they got some more white corners. That'd be kind of cool. But if they're anywhere near as good as they were last year, I'm not sure if Illinois State's going to score. They might get 3, might get 7. But we all know Iowa's not scoring. They're going to score a couple probably defensive touchdowns and probably just milk the clock and get out of there. So I'm thinking like a 30-7 game, just ugly defensive, boring game like we're used to seeing Iowa. Over-unders right now, I got it at 42.5. It's gone down to 40.5 now. At least that's what I see on FanDuel. I'm not sure if it says anything consensus. Consensus has
I have it at
41.
I have it at 41.
41. Yeah, I have my stuff on FanDuel, so it says 41 for consensus. So I got it. I got a 1.5 extra with my bet, but I'll take 41 if I have to. But either way, I think the understanding. We love our Iowa unders on this channel. We love our Big Ten unders. Go Hawks. Milk that clock. Lots of punts.
I love that week 1 we went just full on brand. I also have Iowa under 41, Iowa Illinois State. I mean, this was too easy. I looked at the total or the spread for this game, but I was like, I can't trust Iowa to do anything competent. I watched those. We talk about new quarterback play. I watched their camp highlights. Like, is bad. Like, they can't throw the football. There's reports that they can't complete a pass. These guys. I mean, what did they do in their spring game? I think they threw for like 40 yards combined, something like that. It's like, this is not even a 21st century football team. This may not even be a 20th century football team on the offensive side. We're talking 1800s ball here. I mean, the defense has to be good. They can't. 22.5 is the spread. I was like, I can't touch this. Under. Illinois State's not going to score. Like, maybe they get a touchdown. I don't think Iowa's defense is going to score as much. Like, maybe they get 1 pick 6. I got like a 21-7 game, and I think we cover this comfortably. We got the shortened clock, kind of. The clock's going to move a little bit faster. 41, it might as well be 100 in an Iowa. Yeah, you got a 2-minute warning. That just 41 might as well be 100 points in an Iowa game. So yes, go Hawkeyes. Please suck. You don't even have to win the game. I mean, what is Illinois State's mascot? They kind of look like a bird of some sort too. What are they? The Hawkeye? We might have Hawkeyes on Hawkeyes. I don't know, but let's get into what's your third bet, Scott?
Yeah, so I had to go with the big game of the week here. Saturday at noon, Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Got the Clemson Tigers and the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia's 13.5-point favorites. I have a lot of faith in Carson Beck in his senior season. Clemson's kind of gone downhill a little bit in the last few years. They've I think I'm not sure how many wins they had last year, but it's probably 9 or 10. They're just an okay team now with Dabo. I think Georgia just kind of with their first game of the year, not getting banged up in the SEC. playing in Alabama, playing, do they play? They might play in this year. That they played Texas at Texas this year. So if we're getting Georgia on their first game of the season, they're going to be nice and fresh. They're going to be throwing the ball around. Basically, this game's a home game for them. Down Atlanta, right down the street from Athens. It's going to be a ruckus crowd, as well as big. This could be big. Chick-fil-A is going to be open inside of Mercedes-Benz Stadium, so that's huge. Usually not open because normally Sundays when the Falcons come around, no Chick-fil-A. So they're gonna have Chick-fil-A open. They're gonna be so many happy fans just pounding Chick-fil-A sandwiches and pounding beers at 12. So they're gonna be pumped up. I think Carson Beck has a good day. 13.5. I think if it was 14.5, I'd be a little more cautious on this one. 14 as well. I'd be a little afraid of a push, but getting less than 2 touchdowns, I feel pretty comfortable. So I'm gonna go Georgia minus 13.5 against Clemson.
I like this one a lot. I had this kind of circled as an honorable mention. It's probably going to go to 14, and then we're going to see some money maybe pull in on Clemson. So 13.5 is a good number. Only concern is it's early, so maybe they're a little like a noon game. Maybe they're a little slow. The crowd isn't quite all up in there, but it's week 1. I think the Georgia faithful, they know they got a squad. I'm a big Carson Beck believer myself. Kirby Smart's the best coach in college football that's currently coaching college football. I think that's safe to say. So yeah, I love the dogs. I don't think Clemson's very good. Dabo feels like maybe down season he could be out of there, like looking to move on. He just feels fed up. Almost like a dinosaur, won't use the recruiting portal. It's all about me. I kind of don't like Dabo. I need to be the first one down the hill. Everything's sermon for him. You got to coach college football, bro. I don't know. It's weird there. And it's kind of funny that it's a 2 touchdown spread for number 1 versus number 14. Just shows you where the gap is. So go Chick-fil-A. Is that even the Chick-fil-A? That's the Chick-fil-A kickoff game, isn't it? Is it even a sponsor maybe? I don't know.
It's got to be. It's got to be. If it's in Georgia, it's got to be. That Chick-fil-A is never open. So
all right, so we got a lot of
the fact that there's gonna be a line out the stadium at that Chick-fil-A. So that's a big. No one's talking about that.
Bourbon and chicken
part of this game. Massive part of this game.
Bourbon and chicken. It's a deadly combo. Go dogs. I love this pick. All right, for my last regular one, I'm taking a road team with a big number here. I don't like to do this, but there's just a real disparity in talent here. I don't know if you've heard of these guys. The Vanderbilt Commodores. They're awful. They barely play real football, yet they're in the best conference in college. Best conference in college football. They're terrible. They're at home. I don't even know if their stadium's finished yet. They were under construction all year last year. Probably not even done. The nerds are too busy calculating stuff instead of actually building stuff. They got a Virginia Tech team who was cooking last year, coming in, got transfer quarterback, not played last year, from Baylor, Kyron Drones. Drones is an absolute dog. I think he's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the country. If you don't know him, he is a sick athlete. He can throw the football a quarter mile. And this is a team that finished strong. Like I said, beat the shit out of Tulane, I believe, in the bowl game. Dominated Virginia. Once they switched over to him, things started working out for them. This is going to be a high-powered offense. Defense is really solid up front, too, and they have a couple of good corners that could potentially be top-tier NFL draft picks, just depending on how things go. Corners are hard to figure out early in the season. So I love this Virginia Tech squad, and I just kind of hate Vanderbilt. They're terrible. They're never good. They're never good early. I don't even know if Vanderbilt won a game last year. They may have won 2 or something. It's just a terrible team. It's only 13.5, so I'm under 2 touchdowns. I think that's good enough for me. If it was, like you said, that magical 14 number, I'd be a little scared. But I just like to go with a better quarterback week 1. I know that there's a significant disadvantage at the quarterback position between Vanderbilt and Virginia Tech. So I'm comfortable with my Hokies here. I like it. Everybody go watch them at 11 a.m. because nobody needs to see the dogs or Clemson. Just watch Virginia Tech, a much more important game against Vanderbilt. All right, Scott, what is your upset this week?
Yeah, just before I do that, I have a couple honorable mentions I'm gonna throw in there that feel good, but I wasn't really sure about. I got Oregon, Idaho under 62.5. I think I don't know, Oregon. Obviously, they have that high-powered offense with our boy Evan Stewart leaving us with, and then why am I blanking out on the quarterback?
Go
name?
Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel.
Go Dylan Gabriel. Gabriel.
Gabriel. I think Idaho won't score. I think it'll be like a 55-0 game. So I think it's going to be the under there. This one was picked before they blew it. I had New Mexico plus 31.5 at Arizona. New Mexico's a bad football team after their terrible loss last week. Not sure I'd pick that now after they just basically, I'm not going to say the word, the bed
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah, we
And
know.
then my other dog I was going to pick, I talked to you about this, Florida plus 122 versus Miami. They're at home playing a rival week 1. I feel like that might be a decent pick. But for my dog, so this one's a little more fun. I like the storyline a little more because it's really just, it's all business against a bunch of clowns. The clowns, I mean, the kids in Boulder. The kids walking around with their Instagram handles on their jersey on their back, and their head coach is not letting certain reporters talk in their press conferences, and no bad things can be said about the Colorado Buffaloes. The watch stuff. Shador's got all these endorsements with, he's got a Maserati, whatever he has. Shiloh is whatever
Doesn't
he
go to
is.
practice, misses
Probably
team.
people don't show up.
fire.
Travis Hunter has his own podcast. Bunch of clowns over in Boulder, and they're playing probably they are playing the best FCS school in the last probably 20 years. The North Dakota State Bison. Basically, they are all business. They're going to be running down your throat. They're there to play football, and that's all they're going to do. They're going to play football hard. And I have a feeling Colorado is going to come out and be a little flat against them and not quite respect them as much as they should. Colorado is only 10-point favorites in this game, which could be interesting. They should be a lot more with a team. They're playing a team from the FCS. Obviously, North Dakota State's very good, but and have been last, like I said, 2 decades. So very interesting game for me. Was that?
I said it feels like forever. They've been good.
Yeah, I mean, they've been good since
I've been
a freshman in college at Sam Houston when I got when we got to play them and we got stomped. So yeah, I have a feeling Colorado's going to come out flat, and that's going to be an interesting storyline on Sunday and on Monday when Prime has to come and talk to the press and talk about why he just lost to an FCS school. So kind of want to happen. They're North Dakota State's plus 270 in this game. I actually have a real bet on this too. So I'm taking the Bison plus 270 at Colorado. This is a very interesting game for me. So, and also there's another team. The Oklahoma State is playing South Dakota State, same line, and South Dakota State's just as good as North Dakota State. So another one to watch. FCS versus Big 12. So interesting games.
I like that. I like that a lot. North Dakota State, multiple wins, I believe, against FBS programs over the years recently. So they're not going to be intimidated by this situation. SDSU, a little different. Ollie Gordon's going to run the ball 50 times as punishment. So they might be in trouble there because Ollie Gordon is still great no matter what he does on or off the field. I'm checking it out compared to you at this point. I went with a game that on Thursday that it's a small line. I'm taking advantage of this baby line over here. UNC in Minnesota, PJ Flex squad, always kind of good defensively, always kind of a train wreck offensively. But North Carolina, they just lost their quarterback. Drake May carried a horrendous football team last year that was bad. And his only option on offense was Tez Walker, who is also in the NFL. So I just don't know how Mac Brown and this team is going to adjust. Mac Brown's got one foot out the door. I hear he's trying to retire. I know for inside sources he's been shopping the last year and a half in Austin to try and upgrade and get a new place because he's looking to call it quits, which I can't blame him. He's an old man. He's done all you could ever want to do in the sport of college football. I just think it's a weird spot for UNC. It's only 2 points. It's plus 110 for the Gophers. I like the Gophers. They're going to be rowdy in Minnesota. It's the only thing they got going for them. The Vikings are terrible. The Twins, I mean, we know what's going to happen to the Twins. They're going to lose to the Yankees in the playoffs. That's just guaranteed. So they got to root for something. Thursday night, going to be raucous. The Midwestern people know how to drink. Bring the heat. The Southern boys, I don't know if they're going to be ready for that kind of environment. So I'm going to take the Gophers plus 110 at home. It's only a 2-point spread. I mean, yeah, why not take, if you want to double up, why would I just take the money line? You don't need those 2 points. They're not losing this game by 1. So, yeah, I'm going with them, and I'm strictly on new quarterback. They were bad last year, and it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think Minnesota just keeps it ugly, 15-12 game, and that's good enough. You want those low-scoring close games if you're going to pull off the upset. But all right,
so
why don't you give us a quick?
If you didn't know, the line switched, the favorite switched literally last week. I actually had North Carolina plus 115. So the line switched in the past last week. So Minnesota was favored for a little while, and they went to dogs, I think, literally in the last week. So that's pretty much a toss-up game. So it's going to be an interesting one. I got that one as well. So I have North Carolina with the money line.
It's a great value bet now. Now you're crushing value bets over here with that one. But all right, give us a quick rundown, and we'll wrap up this week 1 episode.
Yep. So first game I have West Virginia plus 8.5 at home against Penn State. We both have Iowa, Illinois State under. I have 42.5. We can go 41 to make it. Just go 41. We'll just go 41.
All right, we'll call 41.
Yeah, under 41. Georgia minus 13.5 versus Clemson in Atlanta. And the Bison of North Dakota State to upset the Buffaloes. Bison versus Buffaloes in Boulder. So that's actually a Thursday game too. So that's probably gonna be after your game or at the same time. So we'll see.
A lot of Thursday action. All right, mine real quick. I got Sparty minus 14 against FAU. I think that's a Friday game. Illinois State, Iowa under 41. We're calling it go for the brand. Virginia Tech minus 13.5 against Vanderbilt. They're terrible. And the Golden Gophers plus 110 against your North Carolina Tar Heels. All right, that's going to do it for us. Week 1. If you haven't already, drop a quick like on this video. Subscribe to the channel. We got new sports content every single day. If you want to go to one of these games this week and just call us out and make fun of us on how wrong we are, check out SeatGeek. Use code afterthereview for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek, and then we love it. Then you tag us, and we look like fools every week, or comment and be like, you guys are dumb. I was there. Colorado's great. Go Shadur. Prime time. Hashtag Scott sucks. Just do that or whatever. But yeah, again, we'll see you guys again next week.